Are you wrestling with a stubborn window lock? You know that feeling, right? The handle just won't budge or the window won't lock, and it is so frustrating. Well, don't you worry. And this explainer, we're going to put on our detective hats and crack this case together. So that window lock is really putting up a fight, huh? Maybe the handle is just spinning uselessly, or maybe it's jammed solid. You're definitely not the first person to deal with this. But listen, this is way more than just a simple headache. A broken lock is actually a pretty big deal. First off, and this is the most important part, it messes with your home's security, leaving a wide open invitation for trouble. It also completely wrecks your insulation. You'll feel the drafts, and you'll definitely see it on your energy bills. And this problem doesn't play favorites. It can happen to any window, whether it's UPVC, timber, or aluminum. Okay, let's get our investigation started. Because to fix the problem, you first have to understand what's causing it. We're about to go through the usual suspects, the most common culprits behind a broken window lock. Our first suspect is usually the simplest one, good old-fashioned grime. You'd be surprised how much dirt, dust, and gunk can work its way into the locking mechanism over time. All that buildup can physically block the moving parts, which is why your lock feels so stiff or why it's jammed completely. All right, next up in the lineup is misalignment. So the sash, that's the part of your window that actually moves. It has to sit perfectly inside the frame for the lock to engage. If it's off by even a little bit, the locking points on the window are going to miss the connection points on the frame. The window might look closed, but trust me, it's not secure. Suspect number 3 is the gearbox. This is the heart of the operation. It's the central unit inside the window that the handle connects to. When this thing wears out, you get some very specific clues. The handle might just spin and spin and spin, doing absolutely nothing. That's a classic sign that the gearbox has failed internally. Sometimes the problem is about as straightforward as it gets. It's just simple wear and tear. All that opening and closing year after year can loosen up the screws holding the handle in place. And when things get wobbly, those locking pins just can't do their job properly. And our final suspect on the list is corrosion. Rust. It's the absolute enemy of any metal mechanism. And if you happen to live somewhere damp or near the coast, all that moisture in the air can cause the internal parts of your lock to completely seize up, freezing everything in place. All right, investigation's over. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. We're going to walk through a really simple 5-step diagnostic check that'll help you pinpoint exactly what's wrong with your lock. Let's do this. Okay, here's your 5-step plan. Number 1, inspect the handle. Is it loose? Does it jiggle? Try tightening the screws first. Number 2, clean and lubricate. A little bit of silicone or graphite spray on the locking strip can be like magic. 3, check the alignment. Close the window really slowly and just watch. Do the locks line up with their spots on the frame? 4, test the gearbox. Turn the handle and just listen. Do you hear any weird grinding or clicking sounds? Finally, number 5, if you can see a part is obviously broken, carefully unscrew it and take it with you to the hardware store to find an exact match. So what happens if you've done all your detective work, but the case is still unsolved? Or maybe you found the problem, but it's just too big for a simple fix. Hey, there is absolutely no shame in calling for backup. In fact, sometimes it's the smartest move you can make. Look, if you've gone through all the DIY checks and you're still stuck, especially if you think it's that internal gearbox, it's probably time to call in a professional. They've got the right tools and the know-how to get it sorted out fast. And here is a perfect example of why a pro can be so valuable. This thing called the backset measurement. It's just the distance from the edge of the window to the center of the handle. But if you get this measurement wrong, the new lock just won't fit right, and you'll end up with drafts and a window that's still not secure. And just think about the time you'll save. For a professional locksmith or window technician, replacing a lock is usually a super quick job. We're talking less than an hour most of the time. They'll have your window back in working order before you know it. Plus, you get a little extra value. A good pro isn't just going to fix the lock and run. They'll also take a quick look at the overall frame alignment and check the condition of your weather seals, making sure the entire window system is working the way it should be. Okay, so we know how to track down the problem and fix it. Let's close this case by talking about how to stop it from ever happening again. Because believe me, a little bit of prevention goes a long, long way. The absolute best way to fix a broken lock is to never let it break in the first place. And that's exactly what preventative maintenance is. Just some simple, regular care to stop lock failures right in their tracks. And here's your checklist to make it happen. Keep the tracks and the mechanisms clean from dirt and grime. Every so often, just eyeball the alignment to make sure everything's sitting right. And every few months, give the moving parts a quick spray of lubricant. That's it. It's really that simple. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. When you think about how important the security of your home is and how much repairs can cost, isn't it worth spending, 5 minutes every few months to keep things working smoothly? Yeah, I think the answer to that is pretty clear.